Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. If you've been watching the videos on our channel, and I hope you are, you would have heard us saying this in many of our videos that financial independence is a must. Retiring early is an option. And we firmly believe in that because I think everybody should become financially free. And if you decide to retire, when you decide to retire, that's all up to you. And there is no wrong or right approach. And also, there is no one size fits all approach that this is the only way that you'd go about it. Interestingly, just a few weeks back, I made a video about the different approaches and options when it comes to retirement, their pros and cons, what Seema and I have chosen, and why we've chosen an approach. So, in continuation to that, in this particular video, I will address working during retirement. That whether you should work, whether you should not work, what are the pros and cons of working during retirement, and what kind of work have we chosen to be doing as we are retired now, and why we've chosen so. So hopefully by the end of the video, it can help you towards your planning to your retirement process, but also think about if you would like to work, what kind of work you would like to do, for how many hours you would like to work, etc. So before I do that, um, in case you've not subscribed, please do subscribe. And more importantly, please do comment and share your thoughts on the videos, because your thoughts, comments are not only helpful for our own journey, but also helps a lot of others who are engaging on the videos, and almost like a community, we can help each other. So let's get started first with understanding the word retirement itself, because it seems that retirement has a lot of different interpretations. Our understanding and our interpretation of retirement is much closer to the typical dictionary definition, and that is that retirement is when you cease your full-time or permanent employment and you stop with any active income. That means that you don't have any salary anymore and you don't have a job anymore, and you're relying on your passive income, and you're free to choose what you would like to work for or do work. Interestingly, there is also a myth that retirement means that as soon as you retire, you're sitting on a rocking chair, staring at the ceiling and doing nothing all day, all week, all year. I highly doubt that any of you or us will be doing that. So far, we've not been doing that. We've also enjoyed the time of doing nothing, but there is always some level of work that a person keeps doing, because the nature of work changes. We are during our professional years, we are working professionally, but even during our professional years, we also have work like gardening. That's also a form of work. When you're teaching your children or taking care of your children, that's a different form of work. You're doing some work for a social cause, charity, that's another form of work. For the sake of the video, we will focus on the professional work, that what kind of professional work you could choose to continue doing during your retirement stage. So if I first start with what kind of professional work that we have chosen to do, it's in three categories. The first one is our weekly work of making these YouTube videos. It takes around 3 to 5 hours a week. The second is our monthly work, which is around 6 to 8 hours of work, where we do some level of coaching, mentoring. It could be a professional to help someone with their professional career or career growth. It could be some tactical help towards some of the problem that they may be stuck at work, be it a deal or account or a client situation. Or it could be helping them with their journey to financial independence. And since starting this channel, we've got lots of requests and lots of people who we have engaged with, where we are also helping them towards their journey towards financial independence, and also helping them to choose the retirement path, retirement location when they retire, etc. So this is around 6 to 8 hours a month that we do that level of work. And the third bucket is a quarterly cycle, which is that we do every quarter some level of 2 to 3 days of a corporate gig, where I'm doing sales and negotiation training for different companies. So I prepare for that, I help them or their teams, and I also advise their sales strategy or negotiation strategy on some particular deals, etc. So that's an in-person dialogue or a workshop that we do over a period of a few days. If you see from an income stream perspective, the first, that is those 3 to 5 hours, the YouTube videos, That's an expense stream for us right now because it takes money for the editing team to put the videos and make it as professional as they do. And as a side note, if there is any feedback towards the videos, where you any recommendations, suggestions, and how we can make it even better, the editing team would be very happy to take your feedback on those points. The second line, which is the mentoring coaching, that is the 6 to 8 hours we spend. That's a mix of pro bono and some paid engagement. Pro bono, where we think that the person can really benefit from our knowledge and they need that knowledge, while paid, where either there is some professional engagement that we have with that person or the company that they are working for, and we can help them then. But it's a very small amount within those 6 to 8 hours, short change, I would say. And the third is definitely a paid engagement of 2 to 3 days for a company, where we at least help them with their sales, their negotiations, their deal strategies, etc. But it's just about enough to, I would say, be like a pocket money that gives us a few lunches or dinners extra during a quarter. So this is how our three streams of the professional work that we do during a week, month, or a quarter. Now, based on almost 1.5, 2 years of this experience of doing so, I can give you some of the pros and cons that we've seen, or at least I've seen, that exist for working during these retirement years. So the first benefit or the pro is the networking opportunity. As I've addressed in a few of the videos in earlier, is that one of the surprises that we had post retirement is how the networking opportunities nosedive. Because when you're at work, you're subconsciously, inadvertently networking on a daily basis, coffees, lunches, dinners, client meetings, etc. Now that really goes down dramatically. So you have to make a lot more effort. And these opportunities of coaching, mentoring, the corporate gigs on a quarterly basis that we do, keeps us engaged with that corporate network and with our previous network, and keeps that dialogue going. The second benefit is the mental stimulation, because making these videos, thinking of the topic, doing homework, reading about it, it's so exciting to just go into the details. Similarly, when you're preparing a sales strategy discussion for a corporate, then you are really reading on their annual reports, going into the details. You're seeing what's going on in the world to make sure that you give the right context during those sessions. So it keeps you stimulated, and it also keeps you relevant with the industry, what's going on when you're, and even on the financial side or retirement side, because you keep reading, keep interacting, keep engaging. The third benefit is that it gives you another or additional form of income. Now, in our case, when we retired, we had not planned at all this as, or that we will be dependent on this income. So this is just an additional income or a pocket money for us, and it's a good thing to have, because we can splurge a little bit on lunches and dinners. I don't think it's enough for our travel, etc., but at least it gives that extra boost. And in case you decide, you could probably go for certain gigs that give you enough income, because it could depend on the skills that you have, that it adds to your passive income and to your retirement process itself. And the fourth benefit is that you ease into retirement. So there is no switch on, switch off, that suddenly from one day where you are so much professionally engaged, spending 16-hour days, and suddenly the next day you've got a free agenda. So it eases you into that. So we are spending somewhere around, I would say, 15 to 20 hours a month, maybe 25, while we do all this work. And at least we can see that if we want to increase or decrease, etc. But we are slowly into the retirement process, and that is also the reason that we never felt that we've suddenly retired, because we have been engaging into multiple of these aspects, not just these professional, but charity and other works, and hiking and trekking and travel, etc. So you've got enough to keep busy. So these are the pros, or the benefits of working. But there are also certain negatives or cons. So the first one is that it does come with a certain amount of stress. How we try to avoid the stress is we chose the activities, um, or the work activities that bring us least stress. So this, even though with YouTube there is a little bit of this pressure or stress that we have to make these videos, but the joy of doing this is so much that that deadline or the pressure doesn't matter, and most of the time it is that we are eager that we have to do this. And similarly, even if it is mentoring people, we are eager that, hey, I'm looking forward to that call. So make sure that in case you do decide to work, that you choose activities that don't add pressure or add stress, but it is something like a positive pressure and positive stress. The second drawback or a con of working during retirement is that it takes away your flexibility. What we've done to avoid it is, again, choose activities that there is flexibility in the type of activity we do. So for example, there are times when we make 3 to 4 videos on a go within 2 3 days, and we park that in the pipeline, and so that we have 1 month where we don't need to make any videos. Similarly, if we are doing long distance travel and we've just started our travel, so I'm doing one of those quarterly sessions within the next 2 days, and then I will be doing the next session at somewhere in the early part of July. That between that we will try and plan our travel. So I've kind of planned those sessions accordingly. So in case you decide to also choose work, then in addition to managing stress, you should choose the activities that doesn't compromise or has a less impact on your flexibility, that it adds, or the nature of the work is such that you can be flexible enough. The third drawback or the con of working during retirement is it does take away the time from some other activity that you could have done. So for us in this case, that means that in a month, there are these 25, 20 or 30 hours, depending on the different months of the year, that those hours get dedicated for all these activities. You could have done the same hours doing something else, reading, swimming, I don't know what all. But because, again, the activities we are doing, we are the masters, that we can decide that do we crunch the number of hours, there is no rigidity, that we have made a commitment, either to YouTube or to the mentoring or the coaching part, that we have a contractual obligation that we have to do for so many hours. So if we think that we have to change the number of hours, we can reduce it. And if we are getting bored of some other activities, we can increase the number of hours. So again, in case you do decide to work during retirement, so with the same stress and flexibility, make sure that you choose the number of hours that you're comfortable devoting towards this professional work. And linked to that is the fourth drawback, that before you know it, sometimes this so-called part-time work becomes your full-time engagement, that you start getting mentally occupied. So it also happens with us sometimes that we get so excited about certain topics, about making the YouTube videos, or even for coaching someone or mentoring someone, that we end up spending almost like a week just thinking of topic, doing a lot of research, dropping some topics, having a lot of discussions around that. And then you realize, hold on, there are a lot of other things that I have to do. So you have to be careful that you don't let this nature of work become a backdoor into your retirement to a full-time job, while you're still getting only paid part-time or a hobby money that you get for almost you spending 30 to 40 hours a week for something like that. So just make sure that whatever you choose to be during your retirement process, put this as a checklist, that is the choice of your nature of work. Is it going to add stress? If it is going to add stress, what are the things that you can do to minimize that or change it towards the positive stress that you look forward to that? Can those activities be flexible enough that it doesn't bring in rigidity to your schedule? That means that you don't have any contractual obligation that you have to be doing those number of days in office, in person, etc. So you have to check that very clearly. The third is that you have to see that how much time do you want to give as a bucket towards that, and make sure that, again, it's up to you, but in our case, we've said that our priority is the retirement activities, and these three are comparatively low priority. So if there is a game or a hike or some social interaction that we think is more important, then we say that, okay, even if it means that we are not going to post a video on Thursday, we will not do that. But so far, we managed to do it every week, actually. So you become the master of that sliding scale of 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, or 30 hours a week. Just make sure that it doesn't become 40 or 50 hours so that it becomes another full-time job. So just keep checking that is your the nature of work that you're doing during retirement, is it becoming another backdoor full-time job? So if you have this framework, I think you'll be pretty sorted, and you'll still have a very engaging retirement, very fulfilling retirement with a lot of other activities while still staying socially relevant, still keeping your network intact, and getting some pocket money out of that, all that activity that you get, hopefully more than just pocket money, and easing into retirement. So far for us in the last 1 or 2 years, it's been wonderful, and I hope it continues this way. And my promise would be that whatever happens, if it's any future lessons learned, I'll keep sharing with you. Or even if we think that we are tinkering around with this model, we'll keep sharing with you. So I hope you found this video useful. You found it gave you some insight about working during retirement. Would love to hear your thoughts, comments. If you think that there are other pros of working during retirement, or there are cons of or other drawbacks or considerations, because it can also help us to tweak our plans accordingly. So till the next video, till the next topic, and till the next location, goodbye from me. Bye bye.